Okay. It's the beginning of a new quarter, so that means that we go back to science. I think we do science for 5 weeks, and then we do social studies for the other ones. So we got some science, and like I said earlier in math, if you were here, we're gonna do what's it called? Space. So for this week, we're gonna talk about constellations and stuff like that. Hopefully, it's been posted on Google Classroom. We'll go find out. But I'm gonna share my screen. We have a PDF of just some information, and then a Google Slides with some activities. It's not like filling in the blanks. It's actual like activities, vocabulary, and matching and things like that. So if we're over in Google Classroom, in social studies, of course it's not posted, so let me get it posted. These never like to post when I need them to. Of course there was an error. Is it working for you guys? Can you guys see it on your end? It's telling me there's an error, but sometimes it
No,
works.
I can't see it.
No. I don't know what the error is.
I got it.
You got it? Okay, so maybe reload and see if it opens.
I got it.
Okay. Yeah, reload your page and hopefully it shows up. I have it now.
I got it now too.
Okay, yeah, I have GoGuardian open so I can see a lot of you guys getting on it. So let's go ahead and open that up. We have a PowerPoint. Well, it's not PowerPoint. We have a PDF that is a PowerPoint. We'll go over some information and stuff. Once we're done going over that information, we have a set of Google Slides that is basically the same information. We're just going to use the PowerPoint and PDF to help us out with these couple of activities. Sound good?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm going to zoom in on this a little bit more. I'm going to give you about 1 minute. You guys can get this opened up. I am going to go through the PDF first, so if you want to just watch the Google Meet and watch me go through it first, that's totally fine. Or you can have it open and scroll along with me. It's up to you. But I'll give you guys about a minute to get there. I'm going to check my attendance really quick while you guys do that. I think I have most of you guys. Okay, I think we're good. Yep. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and go over these. So we're going to talk about constellations. First of all, what is a constellation? I think you guys should know that one already. What is a constellation?
Stars that are connected that look like something.
Good. There are stars in the sky, and they create some sort of picture in the sky. Those of you that are in person, we were reading Percy Jackson, and remember someone died and they became a constellation in the sky. Yeah. So
Wasn't it Zoe?
Yeah. So the constellation kind of looks like something. There's a major one that's called the Big Dipper. It kind of looks like a spoon, right? Then you have the Little Dipper. There's things like Orion. We've been reading the Percy Jackson series in class, so we've gone through the first, second, and third book. Whenever people get here, we'll probably read the fourth and the fifth one.
Okay.
Yeah, but sorry for those of you that are online. It's hard to read to you guys, unfortunately. But you can always read at home. So yeah, constellations are the stars that are connected in the sky. We're going to talk about some different things with them, but first it says, what is a constellation? A constellation is a group of visible stars that form a pattern or an imaginary shape when viewed from the Earth. So this one on the left is called Ursa Major. Do you guys see, I don't know if it's the Big or the Little Dipper, but do you see the Dipper in the picture? You guys know what that one is? Yeah. That one is this like scoop right here. So this square with the hook coming off of it.
But what is that picture of?
I don't know. It kind of looks like a bear, or like they're trying, maybe like a deer.
Looks like a llama to me.
A llama, maybe, yeah. I don't know what exactly it is. Maybe a dog, yeah. But you can see how there are stars that are connected together and it's drawing a shape of some sort, right? And then our next slide. The patterns formed by the stars can be any sort of shape, a man, a woman, an animal, a mythical creature, or even a crown. So this one on the left, this picture, it's called Orion. And it's supposed to be,
I've seen that in the sky before.
yeah, it's supposed to be a man named Orion, and
yeah,
he killed,
and
looks like a tiger.
those 3 stars right next to each other mean his belt.
Yep, these 3 right in the middle are his belt, Orion's belt.
Yep.
And then these major stars that are brighter are actually stars that are named. So this one in the top left at the shoulder is Betelgeuse, and then on his right shoulder is Orion, and then his ankle is called Rigel. I don't actually know how to say it.
Sounds.
Yeah.
That first one that's Beetlejuice. As soon as you said that, it reminded me of that one movie.
Oh yeah, the Beetlejuice movie.
Yeah.
Didn't Orion have like 3 dogs or something like that?
I do not know. We'd have to look that up. That'd be cool though.
Because I was like thinking of something.
All right, and then our next part, if we keep scrolling, ancient Greeks were the first people to describe constellations. And we were just talking about ancient Greece a lot last quarter at the end when we talked about the gods and stuff of ancient Greece and things like that. But most of those constellations that you see in the sky are associated with a myth that was told by the ancient Greek people. So a lot of the things in the sky are mythological people. Like I'm pretty sure there's Hercules in the sky, Orion, things like that. You have a question, Madi, or are you just practicing?
No, I misclicked and then my thing was lagging, so I clicked it too many times.
Okay, got it. So a lot of the things that you'll see in the sky are named after ancient Greek mythology or creatures from ancient Greek mythology and things like that. It's pretty cool.
What does the Big Dipper mean then?
I have no idea. We'd have to look that up. Maybe
I'll
it'll
look
come
it up.
I don't know a whole lot about constellations, honestly. So, yeah. Our next slide says that there are 88 named constellations. 48 of them are ancient, listed by the Greek astronomer Ptolemy, and 40 of them are new. So one ancient Greek astronomer found 48 of these constellations in the sky, and then 40 of them after that have been discovered throughout the years.
The Great Dipper means the Great Bear.
The Great Bear. So that Ursa Major in that first slide then, right?
Yeah,
It's probably supposed to be a bear.
the Great Bear, that's what it's called. That's what it says.
Yeah, that's probably what it's supposed to be then, a bear. Cool. All right. Our next slide, slide 6, says the celestial sphere is how astronomers map out the sky. So it's this, so if you look inside, you can see the Earth on the inside, right? And then along the outside is where the stars are. So it's called the celestial sphere. It's an imaginary sphere to map out where the constellations are and how everything is at certain times of the year. And it's important because the Earth is spinning, right? Which means that the constellations are moving and the stars are also moving in space. So everything is just kind of circulating around things, but they're always moving, and so is the Earth. So this big map over here helps us figure out where the constellations are in the night sky at different times of the year. I have no idea how to read a celestial sphere. I'm sure it's probably kind of difficult to read to figure out where things are. I like this one on the inside. On the top one, it's more of a real one. So on the inside, you have the Earth, and you have to find yourself to figure out where.
Charlie, your microphone's on.
Thanks, guys. Okay, slide number 7 says that if you want to find a specific constellation in the sky, you might need to use a star map. Star maps are divided by hemispheres because the entire sky would be way too hard to fit into one map. For example, a map of the northern hemisphere shows the constellations above the equator. So if you have the globe, it's split in half by the equator, and the stars on the top half would be in the northern hemisphere, and then the stars in the bottom half are in the southern hemisphere. But I don't know if you guys know this, but there are apps now where you can just point your phone at the sky and it'll tell you where
My
things are.
dad has one of those.
Yeah,
My
so
dad has an app like that too.
Like one time, like
Signal.
on it, you can see where the space station is and stuff.
yeah, that happened on the 20th of December, right? The space station flew over us. At least it didn't Flagstaff.
I've
was
even seen like a space, like a shuttle fly through the sky before.
That's really cool. Yeah, so
like
think that-
I saw like 2 or 3 of them at one time.
yeah, is it NASA that has the app?
I don't think it's not a NASA app. I know it's just like the space app where you point it at like a planet and it'll
Okay.
tell you what the planet is, or like point it at a star and it'll show you what it is. Like the
Yep.
stars, kind of. If you point it at one star, it'll show you a picture that it makes and stuff.
Yeah, I've seen one like that too. It's really cool. So if you have a smartphone, or like maybe your parents or a family member has a smartphone and it's night and you see a really bright star, if you have that app, you can just hold the phone up to it and it'll tell you that's the North Star and these are the stars around it and this is the constellation that it is part of. It's really cool. So if you have a chance to do that, I would try it. It's pretty cool.
And it shows where it's going to be, when it's going to be.
It's really cool. Okay, our next slide, 18. Wow, I can't talk today. Slide 8 says constellations are categorized into 2 types. There's circumpolar constellations, which can always be seen in the sky. And then there are seasonal constellations, which you can only see for part of the year. So one type you see all the time, no matter what, it's always there. That's the circumpolar. And then seasonal, if you think of the word seasonal, it's like a season. It's only there for part of the year. So on the left, we have the Big Dipper over here. Can you guys tell where the Big Dipper is in this picture?
Yeah, I can.
I can because of the bright stars and what like the shape it's making.
Yeah, it's the bright stars. So it's kind of upside down. So you have the 3 stars of the handle over here, and then like the scoop part over here, the dip.
I think of it as a bucket,
Yeah, a little bit.
as a pan or a pot.
Yeah, it's kind of like a pot, like a soup pot. Like you have the handle right here, right? If you're holding the handle, and then the bucket part is right there.
I don't see how it looks like a bear though. That's
No,
what I don't get.
I don't
Me
either.
neither.
I can't give you an answer to that one. I don't really see it either. Not gonna lie. Okay, next slide. Constellations were used to keep track of the calendar in ancient times. So they would look at the stars and be like, okay, they have moved this much. This is the amount of time that has passed. And this picture right here shows the different constellations for different times of the year, which is pretty cool. So like if you were to see, I don't even know. Let's see.
Did you see the star where Jupiter? Well, it wasn't a star. Where Jupiter and Saturn crossed each other.
I didn't see it.
I know. Neither did I.
Saw pictures.
My brother and my mom and dad did.
That's really cool. I only saw pictures of it. I never saw it. I didn't see it like actually cross. Which
I remember seeing the solar eclipse. That was cool.
That is really cool. We learned about those later, I think.
I'm not allowed to see the eclipse.
Yeah, we don't watch them. We just talk about how they happen, but we don't watch them at all. Okay, our next one, slide 10, says constellations also helped with navigation. For example, if you spot Polaris, do you guys know what Polaris is? Have you heard of that one before? That star?
A Jeep, a Ranger.
No, it's a
I
star.
don't think I have.
The Polaris is
Nope.
the North Star. So it's the brightest star in the sky, and it is always in the north. So it helps people if they're out in the wilderness, or in this case on a ship. The North Star points north and tells them where north is.
I've heard of the North Star, but not Polaris.
Yeah, the North Star is the nickname for the star Polaris. So Polaris is its true scientific name, and then the North Star is just what people call it.
Miss Jones.
Yep.
Why can't you look at solar eclipse?
Because it'll hurt your eyes and like they can burn your eyes.
Yeah, because that's when the sun is the brightest in the sky, and it can be dangerous.
That's why they make special glasses and stuff.
Yeah.
Or a welding helmet works really good too.
So
I've never seen the eclipse.
Yeah,
It's really
Neither
cool.
have I.
I think I
Like
saw a couple when I
it's
was
just
young.
this big thing, but it looks like the sun, just way brighter though, where the
Mhm.
moon crosses the sun.
Yeah,
I've seen pictures, but I haven't seen it in first person.
maybe one day.
I can't mute. Okay.
Okay, so because they would use constellations in the sky, ships were able to travel pretty easy. They would look up at the North Star and be like, okay, that's north, we need to go this way. It allowed for the discovery of America, and it spread European culture. So all of these ancient civilizations that were talked about, Mesopotamia, Greece, Rome, China, those are all on the opposite side of the world than America, right? North and South America. So because of the stars in the sky, they were able to travel across these big oceans, whether it was on accident or not, and they founded the Americas, North and South, right? And then fun facts. The sun is the only known star in our galaxy, but it's not part of a constellation. So the sun is actually a star. It's the brightest star, as far as I know. Not connected to any sort of constellation, though. Fun fact number 2. Farmers were the first to use constellations. Because of the changing seasons, the farmers depended on the stars to know when it was time to plant and when it was the right time to harvest. So they tracked the movement of the stars, and they were like, okay, now is when we should plant the crops. And then they would track the movement and be like, okay, now is the time to pick all the crops because they're at their best point. Fun fact number 3.
Those people by the tree looked pooped.
Over here. Yeah, they look real tired. They're probably working hard, harvesting all the crops. Fun fact number 3, this is based on your birthday. I'm sure you guys have heard of these. Your zodiac sign. So if you're a Libra, a Scorpio, a Gemini, these are 12 constellations that are used for the signs of the zodiac calendar and astrology.
I'm in the third one on there. The what's it called?
Pisces.
Yeah, in that one.
I'm an Aries.
I'm a Sagittarius.
It just sounds weird when he said that. He's like, I'm Cancer.
Cancer.
Yeah, you got to find your birthday. I'm a Gemini.
My birthday is March 13th, so I'm a Pisces or whatever it is.
A Pisces.
What am I?
Pisces.
How do I
When's
know
your
what I am?
birthday?
Oh wait, his is in November, so his would be
Which day?
the 26th, I think.
So you are a Sagittarius, Charlie.
So
Sagittarius, what's that?
Arrow. That's what it's. It's a sword plus
My
arrow.
sister's a Pisces.
I'm a sword and an arrow.
It's an arrow,
Yep.
Dallin.
I'm a H.
So there's a lot of like astrology type of things where people will say like, oh, a Gemini has these types of qualities about them. So it really depends. Like people really believe in astrology and feel like their zodiac sign really represents who they are. Like, I don't know, like I'm stubborn, I'm nice, things like that. I don't know a lot about astrology though. Some of you guys might know more than me, but people will read their horoscope every morning. Have you guys ever heard of a horoscope?
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
So your horoscope is basically like if I look every morning at the newspaper, it's a lot of time it's in the newspaper, but sometimes it's online too. You can look at your horoscope and it will tell you your day is going to be like this today, or your month will have these things happen to you. So it's like predictions about your life based on your zodiac sign. I don't know if I really believe in horoscopes very much, but it depends on the person. Some people really believe in them, and some people are like, nah, that's a whole bunch of hooey. So who knows? Charlie, you have a hand raised. Do you have a question?
So what are my personalities like from that thing?
Oh, I have no idea. You'd have to look it up.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, I really don't know much about zodiac signs and stuff. Okay, fun fact number 4. There are 22 different constellations that have their name start with a C, which is a lot. There's a couple of Corona ones over here.
Corona.
COVID.
Yep. And fun fact, our last one, fun fact number 5. Hydra is the largest constellation in the sky. And it takes up 3.16% of the sky, which doesn't seem like a lot, but if you look at the night sky, it's
Yeah, but
pretty
in like
small.
in stars, that takes up a lot.
Yeah, and if you look at the design of it, it's like a really long dragon with the head at the top. Looks pretty cool. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Michaela even rejoined. She's here, so that doesn't really help. Oh, she left. Okay. So that is our PowerPoint, like the PDF with information, and then we're gonna come over and open up the Google Slides and do some vocabulary stuff and answer a few questions based on the information we talked about. So let's go ahead and get these Google Slides opened up. Okay. And I'm gonna zoom in on it because it's really small. Can we start with 50? No, that's still too small. We'll do 100. That's good. So we're gonna have the Google slide opened up. Michaela, is the audio working for you now? Can you hear us?
I'm in here breathing.
Good, awesome. So we're gonna do a little bit of vocabulary, do some matching, and then there's just a few questions to answer. I don't think it'll take us too long. I'll give you guys a minute to get that pulled up. I'm gonna check if you guys got it. Looks like a lot of you guys are getting it pulled up. Good. Awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna go over this vocabulary for a little bit. Shouldn't take too long, and then we will do some matching down here. So our first vocabulary word is a constellation, which we just talked about a lot. It's a group of stars that form a pattern in the sky when they're viewed from the Earth. Okay. Then we have a star, which is a huge glowing ball of gas that's made up mostly of hydrogen and helium. Okay. Then we have cluster, which is a group of similar stars that are close together. So if you think about, let's see, Orion. Dallin was talking about Orion's belt, which has 3 stars right next to each other. That is a cluster. That's a group of similar stars.
Or the whole sky, it's a cluster of stars.
Technically, yeah, but they want like a couple of stars close together. That's what they mean by a cluster.
I want to go up and walk on a star.
I don't know if you can walk on a star. Maybe by the time you're old enough, you'll have figured out how to do that. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
If we can't go to the sun or get anywhere near the sun, we can't walk on a single star.
We might not be able to. It might be too hot. I don't know.
Miss
Because
Jones?
stars are basically suns, and suns are basically stars.
That's
Miss
true.
Jones?
Yes, Charlie.
What do you mean, like, when we're old enough to walk on a star? Like, they'll be
Well, right now, you guys are
how we can.
11 and 12 years old, so you're not old enough to be on a rocket to go to the moon or
I
whatever.
want to go drive a dirt bike on the moon
Oh,
and go in those big craters.
That would be cool.
yeah, that will be cool.
All right, our next vocabulary word is zodiac. That's a belt of space around the Earth where 12 well-known groups of constellations lie. So that's the zodiac symbols that we were just talking about, like Cancer, Gemini, Aries. Is that it? Yeah, I think it's an Aries. So all of those things, those 12 are in the zodiac. A myth is an ancient story that's usually about gods, heroes, or events that a group believed to be real. And like we talked about, a lot of the stars and the constellations up there are based off of myths, and they're named after people or things in myths. Then we have a galaxy, which is a huge collection of dust, gas, and billions of stars that move together through the universe. Do you guys know what our galaxy is called?
Isn't it the Milky Way?
The Milky Way. Yep. Just like the candy bar.
I want candy now.
Sorry. Our next one is a hemisphere, which is half of a sphere. So if we have, can you guys see this? A ball? This is a sphere. And if we were to cut it in half, we would have a hemisphere, half of a sphere. Does that make sense?
What's the quarter of a sphere called?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I have no idea what a quarter of a quarter sphere. I don't know.
Hmm.
Maybe. And then we have the celestial sphere, which is if you have the Earth in the middle, it's a sphere that's around the Earth that shows us where the constellations are. It's an imaginary map, right? Then we have circumpolar constellations, which are the ones that are always seen in the sky, and then seasonal constellations, which are only seen for part of the year. So we have quite a few vocabulary words there. We're going to do a little bit of matchy-matchy in this next one. So you can click on the line next to the word to put the correct definition in the spot. I do want you guys to do this part on your own. We'll review it, but I want you to take about 5 minutes and do the matching on this. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. You should have a match for each one. Sound good? And hint, hint, the definitions are all on the one before it. So just type the letter. You only need to type the letter. So if we look at the first one, part A, an ancient story usually about gods, heroes, and events that a group believed to be true. What vocabulary word does that match? What do you guys think? What does it match?
Zodiac?
Not Zodiac.
Myth.
It's a myth. So we would click on the myth one and put A.
Okay.
That's all you need to do. Put the letter next to it. So I'm going to give you guys about 5 minutes. All the definitions are word for word in the one before it. So I hope that you guys can get all of those, please, and thank you. Okay. So go ahead and work on the constellation vocab. I'm going to type that in the chat to make sure everybody gets that.
My thing's really laggy.
That's okay. You got a couple of minutes, but hopefully it'll work out. But go ahead and just work on that constellation vocab for a few minutes.
I'm sorry for the last meeting. I fell asleep.
That's okay. We're doing our constellation stuff right here, and we're working on the Google Slides, just doing some vocabulary stuff, okay?
All right.
Awesome. Okay, take a few minutes, guys.
Ow!
You all good?
Yeah, my cat just attacked me.
I'm done with all 10 of them.
Good. Take about, well, we're gonna do another like 3 minutes, and then we'll review them. So just sit tight for a few minutes.
Okay. So are we going to do those other parts today or another day?
We'll do them today. We have plenty of time.
Okay.
Okay. All right, about 1 more minute. Hopefully you guys are finishing that up. You can see a few of you guys working on it, which is awesome. Okay, let's go ahead and review these. So for number 1, a constellation, what letter did you guys get for that?
D.
Okay, cool. I was like, I didn't know if you heard me. So D, what I just put the answer. What did you get? A group of stars that form a pattern in the sky. That is good. So number 1, you should get D. What about 2, a cluster? Which letter does that go with?
H.
H. Let me check. This group of similar stars. Perfect. What about number 3, the Zodiac?
C.
C.
C, which says a space, good. A belt of space around the Earth where 12 known groups of constellations are. What about a star?
J.
J. Huge glowing balls of gas made up of hydrogen and helium. Perfect. What about a galaxy?
B.
B. A huge collection of dust, gas, and billions of stars. That is correct. Oh, there we go. Okay.
You already did myth.
Yeah, we already did myth. That was A. What about 7, hemisphere?
I.
I.
I, a half of a sphere. Perfect. Number 8, a celestial sphere. What did you guys get for that one?
E.
E, imaginary sphere that astronomers use to map out constellations. Good. What about 9, circumpolar constellations?
G.
G, constellations that are always seen. Perfect. Oh, guys, Gabriel, Bert Johnson is Phil. He's just using someone else's account. It's Phil. Yeah. And then seasonal constellations. Which one is that?
F.
F, constellations that are only seen for part of the year. Perfect. How'd you guys do on that? Good? Bad?
Well, I got them all right. I said all the correct ones.
Good, good.
Same.
Good. I would hope that you guys would do pretty good since the definitions were word for word in the slide above it. So that is helpful. All right. Slide number 3. We are just going to use the information on the PowerPoint to answer these questions. So we'll do a couple together. Some of them you'll do on the own. And we'll get going from there. So I'm going to open up the PDF on the side just so that we can look at the answers as well. So we have both. And then let's start with number 1. Who can tell me what a constellation is?
A group of stars
A
that
group
make up a pattern in the sky.
A group of stars that make a pattern in the sky. Perfect. Do I need to make that bigger or can you guys see it?
I could see it.
Okay, I'll give you a second on this one. All right. Number 2 says true or false. The patterns formed by the stars can only be in the shape of a man or an animal. Is that true?
No.
No.
Not true? I don't think it is. So if it's not true, do I put true or false?
False.
It can be made out of really anything.
Yeah, they can draw anything they want, right? It's false. They can be anything. Right? And I want you guys to do number 3 on your own, because you can totally do number 3. I'll give you about 1 minute.
I have 2 things in my head that are it.
The PDF has the answers too. If you need to just keep scrolling. They go in order down the thing, so you can be scrolling through the PDF if you need to as well. Okay, so about 1 minute. Go ahead and do number 3. Let's see.
Take it. I forgot to mute. Oops.
That's okay. Alrighty. So hopefully on number 3 you have an answer there. So who were the first people to describe the constellations? And it's a culture that we have already talked about. Number 4, this one I also think that you can find on your own. How many constellations are there? So I just need a number of how many constellations. And do this one on your own as well, please.
Aren't they talking about the type of thing you are?
No, not just the Zodiac constellations, all of the constellations. Yeah.
Well, what are like the things we're talking about?
Yeah.
So like the list we did. Just a
Which
second. That list we just did of the one where you have to match the stuff.
No, those are just vocabulary words. It wants like actual constellations. It's on slide number 5 of your PDF.
Okay.
How many constellations? I'll put that as a hint. So it's on slide number 5. Alrighty. Number 5. This one is also in our slides. What is a celestial sphere? Let's start with that. What's a celestial sphere?
Isn't it like the galaxy kind of that circles the Earth?
Kind of, yeah. So it's the imaginary. I heard someone else talking. What was it?
It's like a imaginary map.
It's an imaginary sphere.
Yeah, it's an imaginary map of the constellations, right? And then
Then we just copy and paste it from the Google slide.
yeah, if it lets you, yeah, it might not let you.
It won't let us.
Oh, sorry.
It lets me.
Oh, some of you it might, some of you it might not. But why is this imaginary map helpful? What does it do?
To know what's like outside of that circle.
Yeah, to know what's out there. And
Wait, isn't it that kind of clear thing when you look at when you're in space and you could just look around and you kind of see that outer thing of it or something. Or what's that clear thing around Earth?
The
That
atmosphere.
Yeah, that's probably it. Because as you watch some like cars or tow meters, tall tales, you can see the stuff that he's going through, like flying through the air back towards Earth.
I don't think I've seen that, but it sounds.
Because
have.
it's no, I mean I was asking if that was it because you can see the.
Yeah, I don't know for sure.
around
I
it.
have. I've seen that.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure,
I
but
think.
you guys are all on the right track. The celestial sphere is the imaginary map on the outside, right? But what is it showing us exactly?
Where all the places are on the map on the Earth.
Yeah, where all the constellations are. So this map shows us where the constellations are. Good. Have you guys noticed that these all go in order based on the slides?
Miss Jones.
Hmm.
Is this all we're doing today?
Yeah, we're finishing up this and we're done.
Okay.
Cool. Alrighty, let's look at number 6. It says, if you want to find a specific constellation in the sky, what might you want to use? What's it called?
A
Anyone?
telescope?
Not a telescope. It's in our slides. It's on slide number 7.
Star map.
A star map. Good. A star map tells you also exactly where those constellations are. And good. Okay, and then I'm going to give you, let's say, 3 minutes, and I want you to do number 7 and number 8 on your own. So, what?
Miss Jones, can I leave? I finished my thing.
That's totally fine.
Bye, Miss Jones. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye. See you in the morning. Okay, so do number 7 and 8 on your own, please. So number 7 says what type of constellations are only seen for part of the year. So you just need to write what those are called. And number 8 is what are 2 ways that constellations are helpful. Okay, so I'll give you guys about 3 minutes on those. Be answering.
What does it mean, like, 2 ways constellations were helpful?
So how did people use constellations in ancient times? What did they do? How were they helpful to them?
Okay.
On that one, I would use slides 9 and 10.
Miss Jones, can I leave? I'm done.
Okay, about 1 more minute, and then we'll look at our last slide. Alrighty. Hopefully you're done with that one. I'm going to go ahead and move on to slide number 4 just so that we finish it up. Okay. So number 9, this is the fun fact part of it. It says number 9, true or false? The sun is a star, so it is a constellation. True or false? Is the sun part of a constellation?
I don't.
It could be.
Wouldn't we have to be like far away to see if that it is?
Well,
Like, was
again, it says it in the PDF. If you look at the slides, it tells us if the sun is part of a constellation.
It could be.
The sun is a star, but
Yeah.
It's a star, but is it part of a constellation?
no.
maybe?
Not for us.
No. So it's not part of a constellation. So this is, oops, not place. It's false. The sun is not part of a constellation.
Can we just put false?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just making it a little bit more. Oh, I spelled it wrong. A little bit more information. Okay. Number 10. I want you guys to try this one on your own again.
I just did number 10.
Yeah, so on your own, how did the constellations help farmers? And
I
this
finished
is
the whole thing.
slide 12.
Can I turn it in now?
Yep, once you're done, you can get it turned in. Okay, so about 1 minute, how did the constellation help farmers?
Now what do I do?
My phone was just ringing. Somebody was calling me. Ah,
Well, let's at least mute your mic during that, please. Thank you.
It scared me.
Alrighty. Number 11. How many zodiac constellations are there? We'll just answer this one together. How many are there?
22?
Not zodiac ones.
See ya.
Bye.
12, I mean?
Yeah, there's 12 zodiac constellations.
I
Good.
said
Good. All right.
I was on 12, so I got a little mixed up.
Yeah. Okay, so for number 12, it says there's 22 different constellations that have a name that starts with the letter C. So you need to list 3 of them. So there's a whole bunch of them. List 3, please. Wait, okay, let's try that again. 1, 2, 3. 4. Okay, got this. Don't worry, guys. Okay, so list 3 there. I want you guys to work on that one on your own. Take about 2 minutes. You just got to list a couple names. Okay. And then finally, we have one last question. What is the largest constellation? We'll answer this one all together. What's the largest?
Hydra.
Hydra. Good. Perfect. And that's the end of our stuff for today. So once you get those questions finished up, you can turn in this Google Slides and this assignment. And once you get it turned in, that is it for the day. I did post on Google Classroom if you saw it. I don't think everybody's here still, but that's all right. This Google Meets help sessions. So every day, Monday through Thursday, from 2:30 to 3 o'clock. If you need any extra help or you were confused on something, I'm going to have the Google Meet open. Just use the this thing, the link. It'll just be open for you guys. You can join during that half hour and just get any help on whatever you need. If you need extra help on something in math, or if you are struggling with part of an assignment, just join that. I can help you through it. But I'm going to do that every day, and if I can't go to those because I have a meeting or something, I'll post it on Google Classroom so you know that I won't be there. Sound good?
Mhm.
Cool. Those are just there if you need it. They're not mandatory. It's just if you need extra help. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.